Hello and welcome to Extra Things. Lately, we've been thoroughly covering the latest and final version of the hit mod versus Impostor. And though it's been fun playing through this massive mod, I've always wondered what didn't make the cut. So today we're going to dig through files, creep old tweets, analyze videos, and hopefully get to see what hit the cutting room floor. Let's get into it. The first place we're going to look, mostly because it's the easiest, is the files of Versus Impostor itself. This is probably a good time to mention that the hotfix build of Versus Impostor seen in the version 4 dev livestream has not yet been released, so there's still a chance that some of these unused assets could be put to use. Though there's rarely a completed song, stage, sprites combo that doesn't make it into the mod, any one of these three facets gives us a look into what could have been in addition. To start, we have a sprite sheet for a character simply named Alien, which features a wide-eyed alien cat meme image animated to have singing poses. The fact that they have mist and death animations implies they would have been playable in whatever track they might have been featured in. Next, we have an unused skin for Boyfriend featuring him wearing the face of Jeff Keighley, the same mask seen on one of the background crewmates in Reactor. It's unknown why this wasn't added as an optional skin, as in the character editor it seems to be fully functional. There's two sets of placeholder sprites featuring black T-posing, likely added as a joke. As opposed to moving when singing the color, the glint of their visor changes based on the direction. Assets for Dead Poster can also be found in the character image files, a dead crewmate in the style of Gold from Funkin Lullaby's Monochrome. Versus Impostor was originally going to have a cover of Monochrome featuring this character, but due to the musician's departure from the dev team, it wasn't included. This is the same reason why several of the tracks from version 3 have been remastered in version 4, and why Monotone's original song Compromised Persona was replaced by Identity Crisis. This wasn't going to be the only creepypasta mod cover, as assets for a cover of Versus Sonic.exe's Triple Trouble can be seen in the songs folder of the mod. Despite the track featuring pink, black, gray, and maroon, only assets for pink and gray's appearance in the song can be found. The song was eventually named Triple Kill Suspicious Trouble when uploaded by the song's composer, Nissan, which features an updated version of the song. The description of the video reveals that Triple Trouble was going to be a bonus song, but hindered the production and was eventually scrapped. Speaking of Triple Trouble, assets for Double Trouble, the song featuring Red, Parasite Green, and their son Yarlo Mondo, are still within the game files. There's also a song folder called Order Up, which is literally just Sauce's Moogus, implying that Order Up may have been the track's original name. The bonus week Jor Saucy Jams was originally going to have more songs in its week. The character Bananungus was going to helm the song Post Sussium. The only remaining asset from this song in the game files is Girlfriend dressed as a farmer. Bananungus's appearance and the song name are both plays on the potential player color, banana. Posussium and Jor Saucy's original song Lowtown Corey were both removed due to the creator's removal from the dev team. Sprites for YouTuber QB Crasher can also be found within the game files, but not tied to any song. In similar fashion, a front-facing sprite set of Lago with Monotone Doc on his shoulder can also be found, likely going to be paired with the song Lago's Summer Album, as seen on mod director Claufo's channel. Speaking of Claufo, assets for Skinny Nuts 2 can be found, but weren't implemented due to the team thinking the joke got old. Also, an earlier version of Ziffy Clumper sprites can also be found within the game files. An unused song for Black called Ominous is also found within the songs folder. Originally, Black's week was going to be your typical 3-song week: Defeat first, Ominous second, and Finale third. The dev team opted to instead have Finale be made playable after beating Monotone to make the final song of the main story feel more impactful. The old version of Drippy Pop can also be found and is simply called I'm Sorry, likely due to it not sounding as good as the updated version. There's also assets for 2 other Drippy crewmates that would have completed the Drip trifecta as seen in the original Among Drip meme. Before we move on to the dev stream, I do want to mention that within the debug menu is a character called BF-WD that when selected will result in an error due to a missing image known as bf_gaster.xml. This could just be a funny Easter egg, given that Gaster Easter eggs usually result in a game crash. Next, let's move on to a few things mentioned in the Versus Impostor dev livestream. There was going to be a song called The Sus, which is described as a D-Sides remix of the song Top 10. Scrapped early in development was an addition to Lago's Halloween, known as Lago's Easter. There's currently an unused Jads song that was shown in the Impostor dev stream that would have featured a lime-colored imposter/crewmate, likely the persona of musician Jads. The final song of week 5, Boiling Point, was originally supposed to feature Parasite Maroon slowly sinking in lava, as opposed to standing upon a floating rock like in the final version. It's more obvious in the old version of Boiling Point as Maroon's vocals begin to slow down near the end of the track, but the new version has Boyfriend's final note sounding like he fell in as well. Two adjustments made to the unreleased hotfix build shown off on the dev stream are Jorsasi's ghost form appearing during the song Victory and an added jump scare that would occur mid-song during Insane Streamer. This jump scare was originally going to act as the song's game over screen, but seemed better suited as a mid-song event. Also mentioned within the live stream is the reason why the Jorsasi Jams cutscenes were done by Lago. The cutscenes were originally going to be animated by artist Doesn't Raise, just like numerous sprites throughout the mod, but the workload proved too large and couldn't be completed in time. We'll get into more details about that a bit further into the video. Pink was actually supposed to have their parasite form revealed in a cutscene after the song Pretender. Black and Gray were going to eject Pink from Mira, who would take on their parasite form to fly away. There was mention of there being art for this, so when the art gallery goes up, we're likely to actually see this. Another cutscene that wasn't added was going to be after Week 6 song Neurotic, in which Black and Gray blow up the airship with Boyfriend still inside, ending the round in an imposter victory. The final thing of note mentioned was the fact that the two songs that weren't updated from version 3, Chewmate and Lights Down, were actually remastered but not included due to certain complications. Chewmate's vocals weren't done in time, and the new Lights Down had not yet been charted. Finally, let's take a look at some of the unused content outside of the game files and dev stream. As previously mentioned, there are numerous unused cutscenes by artist Doesn't Raise, some of which were even featured in trailers for version 4. A number of these unfinished cutscenes have been teased on Twitter by Dozen. One of these cutscenes was to take place after finale, with Boyfriend lending a hand to Black before asking if they wanted to play another round. I'm actually genuinely sad that this cutscene wasn't finished in time to be put in the final release, as it would have been a nice wrap up to the mod as a whole. Dozen had asked the team to implement a mechanic into double kill, but it went unused due to it not being properly explained. I've also seen floating around this image of a Master Chief crewmate, and it's clearly in Dozen's style, but wherever it originated from has long since been deleted. I don't necessarily think that this means that Master Chief was going to be in version 4, considering that Dozen posts well-made concept on their socials all the time, like this concept of a Rick Sanchez crewmate. In the Funkin forward trailer for vs. Impostor, the visuals start out as a fake trailer for Fall Guy's Funkin. It quickly becomes apparent that this is a fake out when the poor Fall Guy gets stabbed through the dome by Black. The stabbed Fall Guy was actually planned to have their own song in the final version of the mod, but went unused. The assets have been shown off by artist Mayo Kiddo on their Twitter, including a short video of the Fall Guy in action, seemingly being playable. Speaking of Twitter, one of the directors of Funkscop, Mr. Beta, revealed that there were plans for a Funkscop / vs. Impostor crossover. They posted the concept art, as well as an old recording of what the crossover was supposed to look like. This is the reason why there's a red imposter found within Funkscop's game files. There's also several renditions of Germa's sprites, as seen in this image posted by Cloudfo. Artist Mayhew posted on Twitter an unused cutscene that would have taken place before Ashes. It features the protagonist of the GameToons series Among Us Logic, starting off the song before being killed by Maroon. Another GameToons character that could have potentially made an appearance is No Visor. The only evidence I have is an upload by YouTuber Felipe267, who claims that the song and teaser image in the video was a part of the Impostor Discord server, and that the song was being made in collaboration with musician Marstrarbro. Really, the only reason I'm mentioning this is the staggering amount of comments I got asking me why I didn't cover it, so there you go. One of the earliest leaks of version 4 was a cover from vs. VTan called Infakiller, which features Boyfriend facing off against Black in the art style of that mod. Despite being a nearly complete track, it was scrapped due to the leaks, as not only this, but numerous early versions of songs and characters that actually made it in were released to the public with malicious intent. Some of these early designs were shown off by Cloudfo in teaser videos released after these leaks. If you're ever wondering why version 4 took so long in development, the leaks were a huge contributing factor, and the only reason I'm talking about them now is because we have the final product. And to end us off, we get a look at Beta Parasite Black. Their original Parasite form has this segmented and disfigured look, very similar to the type of transformation Hypno goes through in Funkin Lullaby. Their leaked down sprite would keep the skewer-like tendrils and segmented bodies in the final design, only keeping Black whole as opposed to torn apart himself. The reason Parasite Black originally looked like this is because the devs wanted to play into the idea that Black is not only an EXE-like being within the game of Among Us, but their powers come from some sort of symbiote that has infected their body, kind of like Venom from Spider-Man. The early design features this symbiote taking full control instead of using Black as a puppet like the rest of the mod, which is why Black's body is also desecrated within the writhing mass. And that's vs. Impostor, scrapped and unused content. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and until next time.